Hi everyone, warm greetings from Miss Zahra, Nethania, and Ferrardo. Today we are going to talk about page 135, 139, and 145. After looking at the photos in the book, which aspect of health do they represent, Aldo?
Well, they represent both the physical and mental health of people as they exercise together for their physical health, as well as having a conversation with one another for the health of their mental state.
Wow, that's a great way to see it, Aldo.
Okay, let's move on to number two. So, Ado, from all the choices, how might each of this affect people's health?
Well, all the choices could affect one's health, but I believe social support from friends and family and lifestyle choices are the most important factor for someone's health. Social support is good for a person's mental condition, and lifestyle choices are for the physical health.
Okay, and again, guys, I think many Indonesian people have health problems such as diabetes, high cholesterol level, and also obesity. I am curious what you guys do to stay fit.
I usually exercise regularly, 3 to 4 times a week, Zara. I do yoga.
Me too. I did it to prevent those kinds of health problems. I joined fitness club like Celebrity Fitness before. I usually do weightlifting, and it was great for body shaping and make me feel relaxed after practice.
Alright, thank you guys for the inspiration and continue to next section. I want to tell you guys about things I like. It's important to me to stay in shape to prevent obesity. And for me, getting exercise is easy because there are so many options of an exercise can be done, whether outside or inside the house. I think the best exercise is yoga because it helps you relax.
Yeah, Zara, I agree with you. There were a few alternatives to stay healthy, but I heard in the winter season people usually opt for the simple way to the exercise.
I agree with you, Neta. There weren't a lot of options in the winter seasons.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about the exercise. Thank you guys for sharing and listening.
All right, guys, let's move on to page 145. Guys, do you know about the word elderly and when are people considered elderly in your culture?
Right, Ardo, the definition of word elderly is someone who is old or aging. And I think in Indonesia, someone will be considered as elderly when they reach the age of 70.
Great. When talking about the elderly, we also be related to the term retired. Have you ever heard about this? And what is life like for people who have retired?
A retired person is a person who has left his or her job and has usually stopped working completely. And I think their life is more relaxed because they can do what they want to do. For example, like a hobby. What do you guys think about the generation gap in our country?
In my opinion, the generation gap has already started to occur in Indonesia. There's a difference in attitude and behavior between older people and younger people, which may cause them to argue or may prevent them from understanding each other fully.
Yes, I heard that in Indonesia the number of older people is growing, which leads to aging population. What do you think are the advantages and disadvantages of this phenomenon?
People tend to think that older people need more medical expenses, but it was a misconception because people that are getting older won't take a medical step that have a high risk, but usually the dependency rate will increase. Moving on to number 2A, Ado, after you listening to Pablo carrying out his speaking task, what do you think?
Well, he does sound interested and he explains the person very well, but he doesn't speak for 2 minutes, which is the allocated time.
But guys, don't you think that there is room for improvement from Pablo's speaking?
Yes, I think he can use the vocabulary we learned before. He can use retired to explain someone who isn't working anymore, and he needs to use a connector too. For example, however, to connect the sentences.
Oh, okay. Now we are going to try the part 2 test task from the card on page 145. Do you want to try, Neta?
Okay, I'll try. The character that I want to describe is from superhero movie. He is very prideful, genius doctor. Even though a lot of people admire him, they also despise him. And by the way, he is the main character of the film. He has tall, lean figure, dark hair with tiny spark of white, and a goatee. He has magical powers, which he gains from learning the way of mystical arts, and he also has other equipment like a cloak that makes him able to fly, and a necklace that contains a stone that gives him the ability to control time. I remember this character because of his charisma throughout the film.
Do your friends like this character too?
Yeah, I think he has a lot of things.
And do you think this character could exist in real life?
Maybe, but even if he is real, we wouldn't see him unless another planet attack us.
Okay, and continue to section 4A. Thank you, Neta. Ardua, can you give her feedback to improve on this task?
Yes, I think that she could maximize the use of the time given and try to use a lot more different variety of connectors. But I guess she explains the character well. Thank you so much,
Thank
guys.
you for
Okay. Thank you guys for the discussion today.